Have you ever noticed how trust, once broken, rarely returns the same? Trust isn't just a nice idea, it's the invisible glue holding everything together. In families, in love, at work, and even in the smallest interactions with strangers, it's always there, shaping the way we connect. But here's the terrifying part. Sometimes, you don't even realize when someone is quietly breaking that trust. It can happen in the simplest way, through just one question. A question that doesn't sound dangerous at first, but slowly chips away at your confidence until suddenly, they're pulling the strings of your emotions. And before you know it, you're not in control anymore, they are. That's exactly what we're exposing today. In this video, I'll reveal 5 carefully crafted questions that manipulative and dishonest people use to twist reality, distort the truth, and push you into submission. Chances are, you've already heard some of these questions before. Maybe from a partner, a close friend, or even a trusted coworker. But once you understand the true intention behind them, you'll never be fooled the same way again. These aren't harmless questions. They're psychological traps, hidden in plain sight, used every single day, at the office, in friendships, and even in casual conversations. And when you hear them, the last thing you should do is explode in anger. The smarter move is to recognize what's happening, stay calm, and protect your ground. That's why you need to watch closely and not skip a single moment. Because each question carries a specific technique, and I'll show you exactly how to respond with wisdom and self-control, so no one can ever take advantage of you again. Let's begin with the very first question. It may sound innocent, but it's one of the most manipulative lines used to shatter your trust while making you feel like you're the problem. Curious what it is? Let's uncover the truth. Number 1. Don't you trust me? At first glance, these 4 words seem harmless, even reasonable. But in reality, they carry an emotional weight designed to shift the spotlight away from the liar and onto you. It's what psychologists call an emotional reversal. Instead of answering your suspicion directly, they flip the question, "Don't you trust me?" And suddenly, the burden is on you. You're the one left feeling guilty. You're the one scrambling to explain. Think about it. When a partner disappears for hours without explanation and you ask why, what's the classic response? Don't you trust me? Or when a friend who still owes you money asks for another loan, and you hesitate, they sigh. Wow, so you don't trust me anymore? Even at work, when a coworker misses yet another deadline, instead of accountability, you hear, "Don't you trust me to finish it?" In all these cases, notice what happens. They never answer your real concern. Instead, they throw the guilt back on you, forcing you into silence. And once you accept that silence, you've already given away your power. So what's the Stoic response? Stay calm. Don't get sucked into the emotional trap. Respond with logic, not guilt. You might say, "My question isn't about trust. It's about explanation. I have the right to ask when something is unclear." Trust is something proven, not demanded. A Stoic doesn't shout. A Stoic doesn't let emotions take the wheel. Instead, he stands firm, steady, and clear. Because someone with pure intentions has nothing to fear from explanation. But the one who's hiding something? They're usually the first to throw out that question. And there are clear signs you can spot when this tactic is being used. Notice how their tone suddenly changes. Maybe their voice rises. Maybe they overact with emotion. They avoid addressing your concern directly. Or they bring up the past to guilt trip you. Haven't I proven myself enough times already? When you hear this, pause. This is not a genuine conversation anymore. This is a tactic, a deliberate strategy designed to silence you. That's why the phrase, "Don't you trust me?" is more than just a red flag. It isn't about trust at all. It's a way out, a tool to dodge responsibility. And now that you understand this, you'll never dismiss it so easily again. Which brings us to the second manipulative question, one that's often delivered so smoothly you don't even notice what's happening. It goes like this: why would I lie about that? On the surface, it sounds innocent, logical, even, but behind this polished delivery hides a dangerous psychological trap. Because here's the reality: this isn't really a question. It's a deflection technique. It doesn't give you an answer, it plants doubt in your mind. The moment you hear it, your thoughts start to shift. Yes, why would he lie? Maybe I'm just overthinking. Maybe there really is no reason to lie. And just like that, the red flag you noticed is erased from your mind. But don't be fooled. The truth is, there are countless reasons why people lie. To escape consequences, to avoid embarrassment, to protect themselves, to get what they want, even if it means hurting someone else. Let's put it into real situations. You catch your boyfriend texting another girl, and when you ask, he replies, "Why would I lie about that? There's nothing going on." Or a friend insists they didn't go on an outing, but you've already seen their photos online. Their answer? Why would I lie? I'm not hiding anything. Even at work, when your boss changes part of the project without ever discussing it, and you question them, the response is the same. Why would I lie about something so easy to check? Notice the pattern? None of these answers truly address your concern. They don't bring clarity. They don't provide evidence. Their only purpose is to soothe your doubt, not to reveal the truth. So how should you respond? The Stoic way is simple. Don't attack. Don't let emotions take the lead. Instead, steer the conversation back to objective facts. Stay calm, stay critical, and avoid the drama. Because once you focus on the truth instead of the performance, the manipulation loses its power. And this is only the second trap. The third question liars use goes even deeper, twisting not just your doubts, but your very sense of reality. Let's uncover it next. Number 3. Can you hide it? This question sounds harmless, sometimes whispered, sometimes said with a smile, but beneath that casual tone lies one of the most dangerous requests a person can make. On the surface, it feels intimate, even trusting. Can you keep this between us? That little moment creates an illusion of closeness. But what it really tests is the strength of your boundaries. Are you someone who will quietly bend when asked? When somebody asks, "Can you hide it?" they rarely want only secrecy. They want an ally. They want you to stop being an observer and start being a protector, to become a silent partner in whatever they are doing. And a simple yes is all it takes. One quiet agreement hands them permission, not only to conceal the truth, but to carry on with the wrongdoing while you stand by and watch. Think of the small, ordinary examples. A coworker. "Hey, can we not tell anyone that the boss said something about you?" Just between us. A friend. "Can you hide this? Mark told me something about you, but don't say I told you." A partner. "Can you hide that my ex and I texted again?" Don't go digging. At first, each request looks innocent, but pause and ask yourself, why must this be hidden? And why am I being asked to do the hiding? There are warning signs that reveal the danger. They light up telling the secret, almost excited, like sharing gossip rather than asking for protection. They're eager for you to feel included. as if you're being granted a privileged role. That excitement is a red flag. They want your cooperation more than your counsel. They don't want clarity, they want cover. So how do you respond? Stay calm. Keep your critical mind in charge. Don't accept the false intimacy that asks you to break your own rules. You can say things like, "I understand, but I can't help hide things that hurt others." Or, "If this matters, it should be handled openly. I won't be part of secrecy that causes damage." A steady, clear response protects your boundaries without drama. Remember, agreeing to hide something doesn't make you loyal, it makes you complicit. And once you realize that, you'll see how often manipulators try to recruit allies instead of owning their actions. Ready for the next one? Question number 4 is even subtler. It doesn't ask you to lie or to justify. It aims to rewrite your memory. Let's move on. Now, let's move on to another type of question, just as dangerous. And even more forceful, more direct. Secrets are often told like gossip. The speaker emphasizes, "Only you know this," to make you feel that there's a special bond. A private trust between you and them. But look closely. The content of that secret is about someone else. Someone not even present to speak for themselves. There's no context, no consent. This is what psychologists call triangulation, a manipulative tactic designed to poison your relationship with another person, while you're unknowingly used as the messenger. So, what should you do? The Stoic strategy is very clear. You don't need to reveal the secret, especially if it goes against your values. You can respond calmly yet firmly. "I prefer openness in all my relationships. If this will break someone else's trust, I'm not interested." Why does it have to be hidden? Is there a reason? Your answer should be short, direct, and principled. A Stoic doesn't get swayed by emotional appeals, especially when those emotions are just an excuse to cover up a lie. Always remember, when someone asks you, "Can you hide it?" they're not really trying to trust you. They're trying to make you an accomplice. And if you respect yourself and the people you care about, you never have to accept a role in a game you didn't choose. Now we move to the 4th question. Who said that? This is the most confrontational one on the list. At first, it may sound normal, as if they're simply curious about where the information came from. But behind it lies a control tactic. When a manipulative person asks you this, they don't care about the issue you just raised. What they really want is the source, so they can silence it, cut off your access to the truth, and make you afraid to speak up again. This is exactly what people who don't want to be exposed often do. When an inconvenient truth comes out, their first reaction isn't, "That's not true. Let's clarify it." Instead, the question that comes out immediately is, "Who told you?" You can see this in many situations. You catch your boss lying and mention that someone shared a story. Instantly, he asks, "Who told you?" Or someone reports that your partner is cheating. When you confront them, their first reaction is, "Who told you that?" Even in friendships, when you question suspicious behavior, they don't explain. Instead, they turn around and criticize you. It all boils down to one point: making you lose trust in the source, making you hesitate, and eventually keeping you silent. Picking up where we left off, when someone's first move is to silence the source, they're more interested in controlling the story than fixing the problem. Watch for the warning signs. When a manipulative person is cornered, they don't answer the issue, they attack you. They might suddenly raise their voice, or grow eerily calm and cold, as if that stillness itself is a threat. They may stare at you for a long beat, tracking your every micro movement like someone reading an open book. Instead of explaining, they begin to blame. Their goal becomes obvious. Find the enemy and cut off your access to the truth. This is information control, an attempt to monopolize the narrative so that only their version survives. Ultimately, they want to isolate you. So what's the Stoic move? You don't owe them the source. Your right is to protect yourself and those who trusted you with information. Shift the conversation back to what really matters. Is what's being said true? Say calmly, "That's not the point. I want to resolve the issue." Not play the blame game. Remind them that many people have seen this situation, not just one voice in a corner. Bring the focus back to facts and solutions, not gossip. A person with a clear conscience won't fear questions. They'll be ready to explain. Final reminder. If someone's first instinct is to ask, "Who said it?" they're not thinking about how to fix the problem. They're thinking about controlling the story. That's a red flag that something is being hidden. Now that you know this, "Who said it?" becomes a warning sign, not a sensible question. As someone grounded in principle, you don't need to justify your right to ask. Stand firm. Now for the last and perhaps most dangerous question on the list. Number 5. Don't you remember this? At first, it seems innocent, almost conversational. But when it comes from a liar, it's a classic gaslighting move. Its purpose is to erode your confidence in your own memory. The human brain is fallible. Memory is not perfect. So when someone says, "Don't you remember?" with certainty and calm, your mind immediately falters. Maybe I'm forgetting. Maybe I'm wrong. That seed of doubt grows quickly. And suddenly you can't tell what's real and what has been carefully manipulated. That's exactly the aim of gaslighting. Take control of someone's reality so they start to trust the manipulator over themselves. Think of the common examples. Your partner insists you discussed something weeks ago, yet you have no memory of it. They ask, "Don't you remember? Didn't you tell me last week?" Or they describe an event in vivid detail, details you cannot recall, and you begin to question your own recollection. Piece by piece, they rewrite your history until you doubt your mind more than you doubt them. When you hear this, ground yourself. Stay calm. Instead of collapsing into uncertainty, say something like, "I don't remember that. Can you help me remember the details?" Ask for specifics. Dates, messages, witnesses, concrete evidence. Request objective proof rather than accepting confident assertion. A steady, factual approach deflects the gaslight. Remember, gaslighting aims to replace your certainty with confusion. The cure is clarity, facts, timestamps, records, witnesses. Keep those anchors close. If someone truly has nothing to hide, they won't be threatened by a request for evidence. Now you've seen all 5 questions, the traps, the signs, and the Stoic responses that disarm them. With these tools, you won't be easily manipulated again. Ready to wrap this up with a quick summary and a few lines you can actually say when confronted? When someone tries to rewrite events and insists you're the one who's wrong, that's often the moment to question their motives, not your memory. People who gaslight will present a different version of events that always favors them and undermines you. Maybe your boss tells you, "You were told, that's the new deadline," even though there's no record. Or someone insists, "I said that in the meeting, don't you remember?" A friend suddenly offers a new version of what happened and acts as if you misremembered everything. The message is clear. You're the one in the wrong. Sound familiar? Watch for the warning signs of gaslighting. They speak with overconfidence about their version of the story. They may offer overly detailed or dramatic proof that sounds rehearsed. If you disagree, they get angry, flipping the script so that you become the problem. Always doubting yourself, always wondering whether you invented memories. Over time, this pattern strips away your self-confidence. And that's exactly what the manipulator wants: control of the narrative, not correction of the facts. So what's the Stoic response when you face this kind of manipulation? First, take a breath. Don't let them erode your trust in your own perception. Say calmly and clearly, "That's not what I remember." Then steer the conversation back to objective facts. Let's go back to the records. I'm careful with important things, and I don't have a record of that. Right now, I'd rather focus on the present than debate memory. You do not owe anyone proof of your recollection. What matters is standing up for what you actually felt and remember, and seeking evidence if something is unclear. Final reminder: when someone repeatedly asks, "Don't you remember this?" judge whether it's an honest question or a control tactic. Self-confidence is the first casualty when someone is gaslighting you, but now that you know the technique, you don't have to be confused. Hold on to your truth. If needed, look for evidence, not the manipulator's insistence. Now you know the 5 questions liars use to manipulate you, making them appear right while casting you as the problem. Don't you trust me? Why would I lie about that? Can you hide this? Who said that? And, don't you remember this? These aren't mere questions, they're subtle weapons, often deployed to erase the truth. They don't have to be loud or obvious. Their power lies in making you feel shame, doubt, and guilt. With awareness, you'll no longer be easily swayed by smooth words or emotional pressure. Earlier, we uncovered the 5 questions liars often use to manipulate you, making you doubt yourself. And now that you can recognize them, the next important step is this: how do you stay grounded and avoid being dragged into that whirlwind of emotions? From now on, you will no longer be easily swayed by sweet talk, dramatic scenes, or the classic victim card. Instead of reacting impulsively, you can pause, reflect, and ask back. That is the true power of Stoicism: not to react immediately, but to reflect; not to give in to emotions, but to stand firm on principles. Remember this: asking questions is never wrong. Doubting when something feels off is not a weakness. What's truly harmful is deliberately turning a blind eye, even when the signs are right in front of you. Someone who genuinely cares about you will never be bothered by your questions, nor will they try to avoid them. On the contrary, they will step forward to clarify everything. So, what will you do now that you know these techniques? Awareness is only the beginning. The real question is, are you ready to apply it? From this moment on, trust your instincts. Don't be afraid to ask when something feels unclear. Document your conversations with those who show signs of manipulation. Don't rely on memory alone. Practice the Stoic strategies we've discussed with each question. At first, it may feel a bit awkward, but as it becomes part of your behavior, you will be the one in control of your own truth. And this isn't just about protecting yourself. This knowledge also becomes a shield for the people you love. So, share this video with your friends, family, or colleagues, anyone you know who needs protection from manipulators. Because when we are all aware, it becomes much harder for deception to twist reality. Leave a comment. I won't let myself be fooled anymore. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like it, share it with others, and subscribe for more Stoic wisdom, guidance that will keep you steady in times of lies. And always remember, true trust comes from honesty, not pressure. Choose to trust those who show you the truth, not those who are used to hiding it.